So I'm just leaving the lovely Four Points Sheraton in Ventura. It's about 5:50 in the morning. See, it's a lovely morning, cloudy, very cool cloud formation there. So let's go have some breakfast with Doug. That's where we're meeting, at the little Vagabond coffee shop. So we'll go in and we'll see how he's doing this fine morning. There he is. Had to see this fantastic classic. This is downtown Ventura. Quite cute.
At some point, just blow all the old planks out. We're done today. They'll be gone. But not forgotten. We got plenty of lumber left, but you still want to be thrifty with it, you know? Cut a butt block out of here. Oh, Chinese pencils. Nothing but the best.
It's a beautiful morning here in Ventura. Just had a nice breakfast with Doug, and we're gonna go over to the shop and spend the morning, see how much we get done. Look at that. Spectacular.
In half a mile at exit Stanley Avenue.
Beautiful mountain. Look at that beautiful blue sky. There's our baby this morning.
There's just a bolt.
Setting up this morning.
Clamp.
Stuff in the way. So I'm happy with this first 15 feet.
Nice.
Looks good. This is a fairing batten.
Fairing batten.
You use this thing, get all your lines and your curves.
Right.
Nice and fair. That's why they call it fairing batten.
Pretty sure we've seen this before, but we're gonna see it again. So the fairing batten is the first piece that goes in.
Yeah. This establishes a nice line. The plank lines are there, but they're funky and old.
Where are the original plank lines you've seen?
Well, up here there weren't any.
Okay.
Yeah, that was all repairs. It's just your frame.
Okay.
We were working with what was left.
Gotcha. But here, down here, there were a few? Oh, I see. There you go.
There's
Yeah.
one there. Okay.
So they've got old little marks that are underneath there.
Yeah. And some of them aren't right. They're off in the plank. You know.
Right, right.
So you correct it before you get crazy on this thing. All right. Yeah, I think I can get one here. See, what I like here is the batten's falling pretty good on the lines.
All the stretch marks. Yeah.
It just seems to fall naturally.
Yeah, on the other side it was pretty funky. This is pretty good. Got a little tiny hump up there.
But both sides were different anyways.
Yeah.
We've been fighting that the whole
How's that? Hump gone?
There's a little hump between those two clamps.
Here?
The forward clamp, yeah, in the very middle. It's got no up, it's got to go up a little. There we go. Maybe a little too much on there. Right there. Oh yeah.
At some point, we just blow all the old planks out. We're done today. They'll be gone. But not forgotten.
Tell us what you're doing here.
I'm just getting a pattern going here for our spiling batten. So making a pattern right here for the hood end into the stem.
Nice.
Get it nice and perfect.
Perfect,
here.
yeah.
We always leave our bottom a 1/4 inch long.
So that's about a 1/4 inch wider than you would have imagined?
No, when we go to, after we trace it,
Yeah.
we always cut it a 1/4 inch
Oh,
wide,
okay,
just to-
right.
so we can batten a fair curve on there, because even after you spile it, it's always nice to get the batten on there and make sure it's
Sure.
acceptable. So
All right, so that's the nose.
yeah, the hood end. One staple in there. One there. That's good enough. We've already used this filing batten once, but I'll use them twice before I sand them off. The problem is getting these clamps to work with all these longitudinals and stuff. There's certain parts of the boat that when we get to that point where the longitudinals are, it's just, where are we gonna clamp? We get creative. Center it on there like that. Any screw-ups in that department. There.
Want a clamp for that?
No, I'll just hold it. It dries real fast. So.
As soon as you get it spiled, we'll lay it on here and see how, yeah, see how it lays. Yes, I think that's a lovely idea.
Clint, walk us through this process, please.
We're just spiling the #1 plank on course 13, port side.
Okay.
And I've spiled it already. You can see all the marks on our spiling batten all the way down.
Okay.
And then right now I'm just marking the heights or the widths of the planks here.
Okay.
As I go down every other frame. Put it on the spiling batten for Doug to reference when he's cutting, and we put it up here so when after the plank's cut and we leave it long on the bottom like I explained earlier,
Right.
we'll put the batten up there, we'll transfer that mark to the plank, and we'll put our batten back on the plank.
So 3 7/8 there is the width of
That's
the plank.
the width from the bottom of this top plank
Yeah.
to the bottom of this plank.
Okay.
And then after this is all done, I'll go through and I'll mark either bolt, or bolt, screw. You can see all these planks have these marks on them, bolt. And that's the bolt is 2-inch bolts,
Okay.
or 2.5-inch bolts. And then BXL is the larger bolts for these frames here. Every other frame is 3 inches, 2 3/4. So we use a larger bolt in those. So that just shows us when Doug's drilling out here and putting bolts in, he can just go, oh.
Gotta get away from here.
Doug's waiting, all right.
2 times waiting on the nickel.
All right, almost there. Let's see.
Shot through like this. Okay, for the first 12, 13 feet, the bow planks have a slight curve in them, but they're pretty straight. See, now we can lay this here. You see this knot down here? Now it's small and it's tight, so it doesn't matter. The knot doesn't hurt anything. But, what the hell? There's no reason to put it in the plank. And you can see the sapwood here? So we take our block and we can bring this as far down as we can so that we're avoiding the sapwood, and we get more planks that way. We'll come down, you can see the plank has a slight hook in it. So we'll just stay away from the sapwood, and we can bring this down. Oh, that's about as close as you want to get. So that's it, we're ready to draw it. Oh, Chinese pencils. Chinese pencils.
The best.
Nothing but the best.
I think that's the best here at Chumpert Shipyards.
Yeah. Beijing Aroga. All these marks that we're transferring,
Yeah.
they give you everything. The curve, the taper, the width. And as always, the edge that you're fitting to the plank above or below, whatever the case may be, you cut that right on the line. Trust this. Then you bring it back down, plane the bottom, and you're off to the races. Remember the fairing batten we used on the hull?
Yeah.
Same one right here. It's kind of a semi-stiff square in cross section, so it doesn't tend to bend any way that it likes. It bends the way you tell it to. So we go to the marks that we just made. See, you're always going to have what we call a rogue. That is a mark that is just off a little. So you ignore those. And that's why when you're planking down or up, you make sure that your line on the plank bottom is really nice so that there's no surprises, there's no humps or bumps in it. So that when you do this and you get a mark that's a tiny bit off, see that? You ignore it.
You don't try to force it in.
No, it's like the guy that's out of step in the parade.
But that's the one that's tight up against the one up top.
Yeah.
That's the one you said you have to trust that mark.
Right. But when you have 20 marks and there's one off, guess what? I go with the 19.
Okay.
So now when you have your batten, you look down it and there's no weird humps or bumps, and you can just see all of our marks. Plus, you can get a good look at the plank now that you're about to make.
It looks good. Yeah.
Right, and it does. So that by the time I get this one ready to cut,
Yeah.
what that take, 15 minutes to draw it? He's already spiling the next one.
Yeah.
So we can lay it up there. I mean, this one is what it is, because we used as much of the plank, less the sap as we could. But see, the bottom of that plank's curve is similar to the curve on the top of this plank, so that you'll lose that much between them. We got plenty of lumber left, but you still want to be thrifty with it, you know? Cut a butt block out of here. Cut a little.
Seems a bit of a ways.
We'll cut an end table out of the center right here. Yeah. So you can see this here. This is the bottom of the plank on the other side. So you can see that I mean, we're not going to get that critical, but you can see you can get pretty good use out of your material. And then this part here will be the two small planks back aft, 1, 2. And I'm pretty sure we can get the two center planks out of this one. And that's why when you order plank stock, don't cut it. No. Leave it wide and leave it long, because you need any 2x8s? Well, the 2x8's not going to help me at all. No. Just whatever you have, and that's what that whole thing was about. It was for boat planking. Anyway, so we'll put this out of the way and cut this one.
out on the other side, the starboard side plank, and then we'll remove the fasteners from course 12 and 11. And that's it for fasteners. We'll be done.
Oh,
taking
really?
on rivets. Because course 11, the shutter plank course is already ready to go.
Right.
No rivets or anything in the way. So.
All right.
There it
What
is.
about the rest of these rivets? You won't punch them out.
But yeah, I'm gonna punch these out. Whatever I can punch out, I'm gonna punch out.
Okay.
Anything we can reuse the same hole.
Right.
So unless they're completely buried.
What about all these up here? You don't punch that out?
Yeah.
You got to get all those out.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're ready to go. See, I've ground them so I can get the punch on them.
Okay.
But some of them, like right here, that one feels like it didn't come out, and I couldn't grind it off and punch it out.
Right.
So we just put the bolt above it, and we'll just fill all this.
Gotcha.
There's just some
You can't come out.
out.
So this one is now already ready for its first fit?
No, I have to just
First test fit?
see how close we cut to the line here?
Yeah.
The reason you do that is so you're not sitting here for an hour
Okay.
sneaking up on the...
Planing.
I mean, the line is the real deal. You have to trust it.
Right.
And so if you do a careful spiling, you can save an hour of sitting here filling the shop up with shavings.
That was nice. There's 6 fasteners in that one.
And that is the last piece of wood of the original plank on the port side.
On the board side.
Port side. Beautiful. Wow.
Woo!
Wow.
Well, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Yeah, see, this is the cut we just made out of this slab to get the port bow plank.
Right.
So we pull it out, set it aside for milling. And because this curve is real similar to this bottom curve, and because we always leave an 1/8 to a 1/4,
Well, this is the bottom cut, right?
well, it is now. See, we don't even have to cut it. See?
But it's on the other, that's for the other side.
Yeah, it's a starboard bow.
Right.
So you see how close it is? We just leave that because we're going to run a batten when it's up on the boat. So why draw that and cut it and go through all that trouble when you're going to have to batten it and plane it down anyway?
Just get it close.
So we just leave, see that? About a 1/4 inch.
Oh, you're just checking.
See the width?
Okay, yeah, yeah.
That's
So
what about,
instead of marking it and cutting it.
exactly. You're saving another half hour. So see how we got a 1/4 inch here?
Yeah.
We'll just leave it on this plank. That way we only have to mark and cut the top edge.
Okay.
And the front and back, of course.
Yeah.
And so you can see that yeah, we're ready to go. So we just ignore the bottom right now because we're not going to cut it. Yes. We have one more thing to do before we run it through the planer. Gonna plane the top edge. Remember how we cut it real close to the line?
Yes.
So basically all you do now is get rid of these saw marks. You're there. You'll be a little touch up, but you're not sitting there planing for an hour. And you do 98% of it with a power plane. I know, it's not traditional.
bit of the boat that's opened up.
Yes.
What do you see in here that needs some repairs? That,
The usual suspects, this bulkhead. We've been fixing these all along as we go down. You know, you have to pry
just
it
wasn't well put together, that laminate, or is it just because it was right next to the water?
Probably
line?
just the plywood they used.
And almost 60 years has passed.
60-year.
All of the
plywood,
above.
yeah.
So, yeah, I don't like plywooded down and slow. But,
What else do you see?
well, not much. I mean, it all looks good. You know, and our sister frames both sides are here.
Right, like
there.
This is the frame here. They're not right together. Is this something we want to?
No, it doesn't matter. This frame had a big crack down here and another one here, so we sistered it up. And back here, you remember our horn timber repair?
Yeah, the horn timber and the
And
rabbit. There was no rabbit.
Right. So we re-notched all these. New sister frame going into our new notch. Same here. And they
That's
match
all
it.
cleaned up and ready to go.
Aye. They match on both sides. Keep both sides. And then it's floor timber. See this
Really
here?
Just get ready to lay the next planks over. Well, a little bit of repairs. As
There's
you
a
say,
little
some
repairs. We're gonna do some wedging and gluing. Got to clean up our sisters, cut, grind, and kind of like I did yesterday with the grinding, prepping.
First try, bow plank. Decent.
pretty nice.
So far. It's got those bolts.
There's 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, so,
Want to mark it and pull it off? And
yeah. Give me an endo real quick. Also, where's that big mallet? The big mallet. We got to put about a 1 out gauge on this.
There were some mallets that I put right up there on the. There you go.
Ready?
Yep.
All right, let's get a little bashing right here. Not too hard, just kind of. Oh yeah, go, 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 go. Okay, right here. Anywhere in here. Okay. Good. A little more. Good. That's good enough to mark the bolts, and then. So where are these bolts?
where the tape is.
Oh, okay. And 4 back here.
Yep.
Pretty good fit. Pretty good first fit.
Yeah, nice. But you can't really fit it till you relieve it for those bolts.
significant hole.
Yeah. Almost everything we do has some significance. Well, that's because you want this to be bigger than the bolt, because when you wedge the plank in, and you can't be precise. Oh, that's swell. Hit it, not real hard. Again, hang on. Light one, done. Medium. Oh, again, hang on there. Okay. It sounded like it hit. And I think, well, we'll finish twisting this in. Give me a little tap there.
Ready?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Little basher. Good.
All three up there.
So now what you do is you look at the fit on the frames,
Okay.
and of course the seam. And on bottom planks, you want a nice fit, but you don't want to bang them in there crazy tight.
Because you're going to put the.
They're going to swell.
Okay.
You know. You want a nice fit, but not. You don't have to get crazy on them. Top sides, you want them as tight as you can get them. Yeah.
All right, Doug is going to San Diego for Thanksgiving. All right, well, we'll be back up one more time before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and so our thing is to have the all the planking done. It's a good portion of the final shaping on the outside of the hull. The plugs, of which there's only about 2,000 to put in right now. Only.
Yeah.
And you know, cut off and sanded. Monkey with the 4-foot a little bit. 4-foot's 95% shaped. You can't finish shaping it till the planking's on, because the 4-foot's profile is always defined by the sweep of the planks.
Okay.
So it's a little thick where that stand used to be. Kind of goes like this. But that's because we left it like that. So yeah, there's a couple hours on the 4-foot, you know, monkeying with this and that. We'll pull those posts out here pretty soon too. Because see, now we have planks, we're able to put the big stands in.
Yeah, yeah.
And so all that stuff will be out of our way. And then onward to the interior.
Yeah, we won't even discuss that.
Why not?
We'll see you in a couple of
what,
weeks.
you don't want to discuss it?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Planking.
More planking right now.
That's right. Focus.